The morning sky over Seoul turned silver as the alien ships arrived. They came without warning, their massive ships blocking the sun like metal clouds. Dr. Jae-ho Park watched from his office window at the Defense Research Center, his coffee cup frozen halfway to his mouth. "Dr. Park, they want to meet you," said Major Sun-mi Lee, bursting through his office door. She was still wearing her combat suit, having rushed straight from the morning training session. "The aliens, they asked for you by name." Jae-ho put down his cup slowly. "How do they even know who I am?" "They've been watching us," Sun-mi said. "They call themselves the Nexus Coalition. They've read all our published research papers, yours especially." Within hours, Jae-ho found himself sitting in a hastily prepared conference room at the United Defense Council headquarters. The room was large and cold, with plain white walls and a long black table. Major Sun-mi stood behind him, her hand never far from her weapon. The alien who entered was tall and smooth-skinned, with 4 arms and eyes that changed color like opals. It called itself High Commander Klix. "Dr. Park," Klix said, its voice coming through a translator device on its chest. "Your work on quantum mechanics is interesting." The alien's eyes shifted to deep blue. "Primitive, but interesting." Jae-ho noticed Sun-mi's hand tighten on her gun. He kept his voice calm. "Thank you for reading it. May I ask why you're here?" Klix placed a small device on the table. It projected a hologram of various weapons and ships. "We have been watching Earth for 50 years. Your species advances quickly. Too quickly, perhaps. We've seen how fast you learn, how you turn simple ideas into powerful tools. Is that a problem?" Sun-mi asked, her voice sharp. "No," Klix said, its eyes turning green. "It is an opportunity. We propose an exchange. We will share our technology with you, including our most advanced weapons. In return, we want to see how you might improve them." Jae-ho leaned forward. "Why would you share weapons with us? We could use them against you." Klix made a sound like quiet laughter. "Your current level of technology is like a child's toy to us. Even with our designs, it would take you centuries to match our power. We are curious to see what your unique perspective might offer." The meeting lasted for hours. More aliens arrived, bringing data crystals and holographic displays. They showed designs for ships that could fold space, energy weapons that could cut through stars, and theoretical plans for something they called a planet killer. Through it all, Jae-ho noticed something odd. The aliens were proud, yes, but also nervous. They kept watching his reactions, especially when he asked questions about their quantum technology. They were testing him, but he didn't know why. As the sun set, turning the sky orange through the conference room windows, Klix made their final offer. The coalition would set up a base on Earth's moon. They would share their technology gradually, watching how humans used it. In return, humans would show them their development process. "We accept," Jae-ho said, after getting approval from the council. "When do we begin?" Klix's eyes turned silver. "We already have. Your questions today told us much. We look forward to seeing what else you might discover, Dr. Park." The alien paused. "Though I doubt you'll surprise us." As the aliens left the room, Sun-mi moved closer to Jae-ho. "I don't trust them," she whispered. "They're hiding something." Jae-ho nodded, watching Klix's retreating form. "Yes, they are. And we're going to find out what it is." He picked up one of the data crystals, turning it in his hand. "They think we're primitive, Major Lee. Let's show them how wrong they are." The first contact had been made. The game had begun. And though neither humans nor aliens knew it yet, the galaxy was about to change forever. 1 month after first contact, the lunar base gleamed under Earth's light. The aliens had built it in just 2 weeks, a feat that still amazed Dr. Jae-ho Park. He stood in the main research lab, surrounded by technology that seemed like magic. "Look at this, Dr. Park." Do Young Kim, the young engineering expert, called from his workstation. His eyes were bright with excitement as he studied the alien weapon designs. Their power systems are amazing, but their quantum calculations seem strange. Hannah Choi looked up from her own screen, pushing her glasses back up her nose. As the team's systems analyst, she had spent days examining the alien technology. Strange is the right word. It's like they're taking the longest path possible to reach simple solutions. Jai-Ho walked over to their stations. The holographic displays showed complex weapon designs floating in the air. The aliens had given them access to everything, from simple laser guns to city-destroying bombs. But the planet-killer design was what interested them most. "They're testing us," Major Sun Lee said from her position by the door. She never relaxed, even after weeks of peaceful cooperation. "They give us these weapons, but watch every move we make." She was right. 2 alien observers stood in the corner of the lab. They tried to look casual, but their color-changing eyes followed every human movement. "Dr. Park," one of the aliens called out, "High Commander Clix requests your presence in the meeting room." In the meeting room, Clix sat with several other alien officials. They were reviewing human progress reports with what looked like disappointment. "Dr. Park," Clix said, "your team's work is adequate, but we expected more creative solutions from humans. Perhaps we overestimated your species' potential." Jai-Ho kept his face neutral. "We're still learning your technology, High Commander. These things take time." "Time," Clix said, eyes turning a deep purple, "is something we have much more of than you. Your species is young, perhaps too young." Back in the lab, Hannah made an important discovery. She waited until the alien observers had left for their daily report before speaking. "Dr. Park," she whispered, "I found something in their quantum formulas. They're making a basic mistake. It's like they don't understand how quantum particles really behave." Do-Young joined them, speaking quietly. "She's right. Their whole approach to quantum mechanics is wrong. Our way is much better. With our understanding, we could make their weapons hundreds of times more powerful." Jai-Ho looked at Major Sunmai, who had moved closer to join the conversation. "Should we tell them?" he asked. Sunmai shook her head. "They're hiding something from us. I can feel it. Let's keep this quiet for now." "Agreed," Hannah said. "But we should document everything. I've noticed patterns in their behavior. They get nervous whenever we talk about quantum physics. It's like they're afraid we'll notice something." "Then let's give them what they expect," Jai-Ho decided. "We'll keep working on their designs the way they want, but in secret, we'll develop our own version. Do-Young, can you set up a separate system for our real work?" Do-Young smiled. "Already done, sir. I built a hidden network on day 1. The aliens won't find it." As they worked through the night, Earth glowing bright through the lab windows, Jai-Ho felt a mix of excitement and worry. They were about to prove that humans weren't as primitive as the aliens thought. But he wondered what would happen when the aliens realized their mistake. "Whatever they're planning," Sunmai said, reading his expression, "we'll be ready." Jai-Ho nodded. The exchange of technology had given them an opportunity. Now they just had to be smart enough and careful enough to use it. 2 months into the project, Hannah Choi sat alone in the lunar lab, staring at her computer screen. The numbers didn't make sense, but that was exactly why they were important. She had been working through the night, Earth's blue light streaming through the windows, when everything finally clicked into place. She reached for her phone with shaking hands. "Dr. Park, you need to see this right now." 20 minutes later, Jai-Ho Park arrived at the lab, followed by Major Sun Lee and Do-Young Kim. They all looked tired, but their eyes were alert. "Look at their quantum calculations," Hannah said, pointing to her screen. "See how they handle particle interactions. It's all wrong. They treat quantum particles like simple objects, like balls bouncing off each other. They don't understand quantum entanglement at all." Jai-Ho leaned closer to the screen. "Are you saying?" "They're centuries behind us in quantum physics," Hannah finished. They have better materials, better energy sources, and bigger ships, but they don't understand the basic nature of reality like we do. Do Young pulled up the planet killer designs on another screen. With our understanding of quantum mechanics, we could make this weapon 1,000 times more powerful. Maybe more. His voice was quiet, almost scared of his own words. Major Sunmei walked to the window, looking out at the stars. The question is, why are they sharing these weapons with us if they think we're primitive? What do they really want? Jaiho sat down heavily in a chair. They're not testing our technology. They're testing our understanding. He looked at each member of his team. They want to know if we've figured out quantum physics correctly. They're afraid we have. But why? Hana asked. Because if we understand quantum physics better than they do, we could make their weapons more powerful than they ever imagined. Jeho stood up and started pacing. They're not sharing technology with us. They're checking if we're a threat. The room fell silent as they all processed this information. The only sound was the quiet hum of computers. So what do we do? Du Young asked. If we show them we understand quantum physics, they might see us as a threat. If we hide it, we lose a chance to prove ourselves. Major Sunmi turned from the window. We show them, but we do it carefully. We prove we're not a threat, but we also prove we're not primitive. I have an idea, Hannah said, typing quickly on her keyboard. Look at these safety protocols they built into the planet killer. They're good, but with our quantum understanding, we could make them perfect, completely impossible to bypass. Jaiho nodded slowly. We improve their weapon, but we also make it safer. Show them we're not just powerful, but responsible. And if they don't like what we show them? Sunmei asked. Then we'll be ready, Jaiho said firmly. Du Young, start working on those safety protocols. Hannah, document everything about their quantum physics mistakes. Sunmei, prepare security measures, just in case. As his team got to work, Jaiho looked out at Earth hanging in the black sky. They had discovered something huge, something that could change everything. The aliens' biggest strength, their advanced technology, was built on an incomplete understanding of physics, and now humans knew it. The real test wasn't about weapons or technology anymore. It was about wisdom. Could humans prove they could be trusted with power that even the aliens didn't fully understand? Tomorrow, they would start their plan. Tonight, they prepared for a future that suddenly looked very different from what anyone had expected. High Commander Clix stood in the lunar base's main meeting room, eyes shifting between deep purple and red as Dr. Jaiho Park presented the human team's findings. We have made improvements to your planet killer design, Jaiho said, keeping his voice steady. We would like to demonstrate them. Demonstrate? Clix's eyes turned bright yellow with surprise. The planet killer is a theoretical weapon. It has never been built. We can build it, Du Young Kim said from his position beside Jaiho. We've already finished the essential components. We only need your permission to test it. The alien council members looked at each other, their eyes changing colors rapidly. They spoke in their own language for several minutes before Clix turned back to the humans. You cannot have built it correctly, Clix said. The energy requirements alone would take years to calculate. Hannah Choi stepped forward, holding up a data tablet. We solved the energy problem. Would you like to see our calculations? Clix took the tablet, eyes scanning the numbers. The alien's smooth skin turned pale. This is impossible. These equations. It handed the tablet to another council member, who made a sound like a gasp. We request permission to test the weapon, Major Sunmei Lee said firmly. We have found an uninhabited planet in a distant system. The test will be completely safe. The alien council spoke among themselves again, this time more urgently. Finally, Clix turned back to the humans. You will demonstrate this weapon in 1 week, Clix said. But know that if you have made a mistake, the consequences will be severe. Over the next week, the human team worked day and night, Preparing their version of the planet killer, they installed it on a small ship provided by the aliens. Du Young checked every component 3 times. Hannah reviewed all the calculations again and again. Sun Mi trained the security team for every possible scenario. On the day of the test, they gathered in the command center. The target was a small rocky planet, about the size of Mars, orbiting a distant star. The aliens watched from what they considered a safe distance, halfway across the solar system. "They think we're going to fail," Sun Mi whispered to Jiho as they prepared for the test. "They're afraid we might succeed," Jiho replied quietly. The countdown began. Hannah sat at the main control panel, her fingers steady on the controls. Du Young monitored the weapon's power systems. The room was completely silent except for the computer's voice counting down. 10, 9, 8. Jiho looked at the alien observers. Their eyes were all fixed on the main screen, showing the target planet. 7, 6, 5. Sun Mi's hand rested on her weapon, just in case. The aliens had insisted on having guards present, but they looked more nervous than threatening. 4, 3, 2. "Remember," Jiho said to his team, "whatever happens next changes everything." 1. Hannah pressed the button. On the main screen, a small beam of light shot from their ship toward the target planet. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the universe changed. The beam of light touched the target planet, and for 1 second, nothing happened. Then the laws of physics seemed to break apart. The planet didn't just explode. It unraveled. Quantum particles separated and cascaded outward in a beautiful, terrifying wave of energy. The wave spread faster than anyone expected, rippling through space like water in a pond. In the command center, Hannah's fingers flew across her control panel. "The quantum cascade is spreading beyond the initial target zone," she reported, her voice steady despite the unprecedented event unfolding before them. The alien observers made high-pitched sounds of distress. Their eyes had turned pure white, a color the humans had never seen before. On the main screen, they watched as the quantum wave reached the system's other planets. "The safety protocols are holding," Du Young announced, checking his readings. "The effect is contained exactly as we planned." One by one, the planets in the target system disappeared, not with violence but with an almost gentle dissolution. It was like watching ice melt in fast motion, except these were entire worlds dissolving into their quantum components. High Commander Clix rushed into the command center, followed by the entire alien council. Their normally smooth skin had developed ripples of agitation. "Stop this immediately," Clix demanded, eyes flashing between white and deep red. "This is beyond anything we imagined possible." Jiho turned to face the alien commander calmly. "The process cannot be stopped, High Commander, but there's no need for alarm. Watch." On the screen, the quantum cascade reached the edge of their calculated safety zone. There, it stopped completely, as if hitting an invisible wall. The effect began to reverse, the energy folding back in on itself. "Impossible," one of the alien council members whispered. "The energy should continue spreading forever." "Not with our quantum containment field," Hannah explained. "We've created a perfect boundary using quantum entanglement principles. The energy will collapse back into a stable form in exactly 3 minutes." Major Sun Mi stepped forward, her stance relaxed but ready. "We didn't just improve your weapon, High Commander. We made it controllable." The aliens watched in silence as the energy wave collapsed inward. Where there had once been a solar system with 9 planets, there was now a perfectly spherical cloud of quantum particles, glowing softly in space. "The demonstration is complete," Jiho announced. "As you can see, we not only understood your technology, but improved it beyond your original design. More importantly, we made it safe." Du Young pressed a few buttons on his console, bringing up detailed readings. "The quantum particles are stable. They can be collected and repurposed. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is uncontrolled." The alien council huddled together, speaking rapidly in their own language. Their eyes changed colors so quickly it looked like a light show. Finally, Clicks turned to face the human team. "You have exceeded our expectations," the alien commander said slowly, "in ways that terrify us." "Good," Sunmai said quietly. "A little fear can be healthy in a relationship between equals." Jaiho looked at each member of his team. Hana with her precise calculations, Du Young with his brilliant engineering, and Sunmai with her protective strength. Then he turned back to Clicks. "Now," he said, "shall we discuss our future relationship as equals?" In the days following the weapon test, the lunar base became very quiet. The alien observers who once followed the human team everywhere now kept their distance. When they passed humans in the hallways, their eyes would turn pale blue, a color that Hana had identified as fear. Dr. Jaiho Park sat in his office, reviewing reports of the test's effects. The quantum cascade had worked exactly as planned, but its success had created new challenges. Outside his window, Earth hung in the black sky, beautiful and fragile. Major Sunmai Lee entered his office without knocking. "The alien fleet is growing," she reported. "They've called in over 300 ships. They're trying to hide them behind Mars, but our sensors can detect them." "Are they preparing to attack?" Jaiho asked quietly. "I don't think so." Sunmai sat down across from him. "They're scared. They're gathering ships for protection, not aggression." Hana and Du Young arrived next, carrying data tablets. "The aliens have been studying our test results non-stop," Hana said. "They've requested our quantum physics research papers 47 times in the last hour. They're trying to understand how we did it," Du Young added. "But they can't. Their basic understanding of quantum mechanics is too different from ours. It would take them years to learn what we know." The door opened again, and High Commander Clicks entered. The aliens' eyes were a steady gray, a new color they hadn't seen before. "Dr. Park," Clicks said, "the Nexus Coalition has reached a decision. We wish to propose a new agreement." Jaiho gestured to an empty chair. "Please, sit down." "Your demonstration has proven that humans are not what we thought you were," Clicks began. "We believed we were helping a primitive species. Instead, we found equals, perhaps even superiors in some ways. And this troubles you," Jaiho said. It wasn't a question. "Yes." Clicks's eyes flickered briefly to white before settling back to gray. "You have proven you can take our most powerful theoretical weapon and make it real. More than that, you can control it in ways we thought impossible. The Coalition is concerned." "Scared," Sunmai corrected. "Yes," Clicks admitted. "We are scared." Jaiho leaned forward. "Then let me ease your fears. We have no interest in using this weapon. We built it to prove a point, nothing more. The designs and safety protocols are already locked away." "But you could build another," Clicks said. "We could," Hana agreed. "But we won't. The test proved what we needed to prove. Now we want to talk about working together, as equals." Du Young pulled up a holographic display showing the quantum containment field designs. "We're willing to share our quantum physics knowledge with you, not for weapons, but for peaceful technology. Energy production, space travel, medical advancement. The possibilities are endless." Clicks's eyes slowly shifted to a deep purple. "The Coalition would be interested in such an arrangement, but we would need assurances." "Of course," Jaiho said. "We'll create a joint oversight committee. All research will be transparent and focused on peaceful applications. We can help each other grow without fear." The alien commander was quiet for a long moment. "You understand that some in the Coalition will resist this change. They will not want to admit that humans are their equals. Then we'll prove it to them, one scientific breakthrough at a time," Jaiho said with a smile. "After all, that's what humans do best. We prove people wrong about what we can achieve." 1 year after the weapon test, the lunar base had transformed. Where there were once stark white corridors and separate work areas, now humans and aliens worked side by side in expanded laboratories. The fear had faded, replaced by curiosity and cooperation. Dr. Jaiho Park stood in his new office, looking at the holographic display showing the latest joint project. Teams of human and alien scientists were developing clean energy systems using their combined understanding of quantum physics. The results were better than either species could have achieved alone. Hannah Choi entered the office, followed by an alien scientist whose eyes glowed with peaceful green. "Dr. Park, we've made another breakthrough," she said, her excitement clear in her voice. "The quantum alignment process works perfectly now. We can power an entire city with a device the size of a coffee cup." The alien scientist, named Trell, nodded in agreement. "Human insight into quantum mechanics continues to amaze us. We would never have considered this approach." Major Sun Li appeared at the door. She still carried her weapon, but now it was more habit than necessity. "The Coalition Council is ready for your presentation, Dr. Park." In the main conference room, High Commander Klix sat with the alien council members. Their eyes showed a mix of colors, mostly purple for interest, with occasional flashes of yellow for excitement. Du Yum Kim was already there, setting up the presentation displays. "1 year ago," Jaiho began, "we showed you what humans could do with weapon technology. Today, we want to show you what we can accomplish when we work together for peace." The holographic displays came to life, showing the results of their year of cooperation. New medical technologies that could cure diseases in both species, spaceships that could travel faster and more efficiently than ever before, clean energy systems that could power entire planets without harming the environment. "Remarkable," Klix said, eyes shining bright purple. "The Coalition's decision to accept humans as equals has proven wise. Though some of us still have nightmares about that weapons test." "Good," Sun Mai said with a small smile. "Those nightmares remind us all of what we could have become. Instead, we chose a better path." Later that evening, the human team gathered in Jaiho's office. Earth glowed blue through one window, while the new alien cities on the moon's surface sparkled through another. "Did you ever think it would turn out like this?" Hannah asked, looking at the busy laboratories below. "I hoped it would," Jaiho replied. "Sometimes you have to show your strength to avoid using it. We proved we could be dangerous, but we also proved we could be wise." "The aliens still get nervous when we talk about quantum physics," Tu Young said with a laugh. "But now they're eager to learn from us." Sun Mei walked to the window, watching human and alien ships moving peacefully through space. "We changed the galaxy that day," she said. "Not with the weapon, but with what we did after. We showed them that power doesn't have to mean destruction." Jaiho nodded, looking at his team. The people who had helped reshape humanity's future. "We showed them something else too," he said. "We showed them that being human means always surprising people with what we can achieve." Outside the window, a new ship rose from the lunar surface, a joint human-alien design, powered by their shared knowledge. It carried scientists from both species, heading out to explore the galaxy together. The new era had truly begun, built not on fear, but on the simple truth that wisdom could overcome any difference. The end.